Hi, I'm Kate Bonner for the Water Cooler Diaries on KBTV Online. Thanks for joining today. People are always asking me, Kate, how do you get your story ideas? Well, I cover a wide range of topics, so it's an appropriate question. I guess the short answer is I'm endlessly curious about the world, and I just like to engage in life. Let me give you an example. One of my greatest friends, Court Corsi, he's an entrepreneur, he's brilliant. One of his ventures was CertifiedEmail.com, sold to WebMD. Well, about a week ago, he invited me to a dinner party up in Palm Beach. And before the dinner started, we walked down the street to a cocktail party. So I'm sipping my ginger ale and nibbling on hors d'oeuvres, and before I know it, a man stands up. He says his name is Ron Sconyers, and he's the CEO of Physicians for Peace. Over the next 20 minutes, I just perched on a chair and listened while various medical doctors gave short presentations about what Physicians for Peace does. I thought, what a terrific organization, which brings me to this piece. Physicians for Peace bills itself as an international humanitarian nonprofit medical education organization. So what does that really mean? When the CEO stood up, he provided a parable. He simply said, and I quote here, "If you give a man a fish, you will feed that man for a day, but if you teach the man how to fish, you'll feed him for a lifetime." Basically, they're not just coming in and helping people, they are teaching them how to help themselves, an idea that separates them from other similar nonprofits like Doctors Without Borders. The mission statement at Physicians for Peace is to further the cause of world peace and international goodwill by providing quality medical education and care to those in need. To date, they've completed programs in 50 different countries. How it works is they'll send in a team of medical volunteers who specialize in the areas of care the country needs most. These teams will stay from 1 to 6 weeks. During that time, they train local medical professionals and begin all sorts of medical programs which the host countries sustain and replicate. They also, however, offer their expertise by treating the people. They reshape eye sockets, perform liver transplants, fit prosthetic limbs, repair burn scars and cleft palates. They've even done open heart surgery and performed a range of cancer therapies. Physicians for Peace was founded in 1989 by internationally recognized humanitarian Dr. Charles E. Horton Sr. on the principle that those who desire to heal owe allegiance to no one country, ethnicity, or creed. And that's where the quote-unquote peace mentioned in their name fits into the equation. They have medical volunteers from diverse cultures and opposing sides of ethnic and international conflicts working side by side, fostering this idea of a community that transcends race or culture. A few examples: Physicians for Peace united teams of doctors from Iran and Iraq, Turkey and Greece, the Philippines and Japan, and yes, even Palestine and Israel. What's got these volunteers from places facing bitter divides and even violence working so well together? A dire need. The developing world carries 90% of the global disease burden, yet has only 10% of the medical resources. This according to the United Nations Foundation. And most of these diseases are curable. We've had the treatment since the 1950s. I was hit by the reality of this need that night in Palm Beach. You can imagine I'm in this mansion and there are men in Cartier cufflinks and women dripping in diamonds, when a doctor, a woman whose specialty was OB/GYN, stood up and told the story of going to Liberia, where 1 out of every 12 women dies in childbirth. Here in the US, it's 1 in every 6,000. Which brings me to my bid that I'm going to put in right now about how I loathe reverse snobbery. The wealth in this room and the people, their enthusiasm for the project Physicians for Peace way overshadowed their wealth. The OB/GYN doctor went on to share her story of traveling to Liberia and teaching everything from midwifery to actual birthing procedures. But what struck me was the ending line of her presentation, and I quote here, "If you heal someone, you help one person. If you teach someone to heal, you help many." It was incredibly moving, to say the least. To learn more about Physicians for Peace, you can go to their website. It's www.physiciansforpeace.org. I'm Kate Bonner for the Water Cooler Diaries on KBTV Online.